ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the wokest magic show on the internet. This is Casually Spike, and I am your host, Dakota Marker. And with me are my friends, Jeff Moore.
64 gigabytes internal storage.
It's 32.
Jaron Denham.
It's still 32.
64.
Devin Harrison.
Nintendo?
Yes.
Yep.
And Bill Gantz.
I bought a washing machine.
Did that have 64 gigs of onboard space?
I guess if I leave an SD card in my pants.
We did it, Reddit. So, anyway, we're coming back to you this week with our part 2 of the Aether Revolt spoilers. Today, we are taking a look at black, red, and green. Jaron, would you like to lead off, or do you want me?
If you want poll, go ahead and take poll. I don't care how we do this.
I really don't care either. So, we're going to start off with Aether Poisoner. She is a common human artificer, 1 in a black. She has Death Touch, and when she enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. And whenever it attacks, you can spend 2 energy to make a 1/1 servo, and she's a 1/1. This actually seems better than most of the other ones, because this one has Death Touch. Although, I feel like having this trigger, like having the Aether trigger on it to make the servo, makes it less good. I don't know.
I think it's good for bluffing.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I feel like this is I feel like you don't actually attack with this card. You just play it and then get the 2 energy as a bonus, and then have a Death Touch blocker up.
Yeah, that's all it is. That is all she does.
This is okay around the middle. I don't think this is.
I would say it's 10th.
I'd say 8th.
Maybe.
Depends on what's in the pack, really.
Yeah. All right, I'll take the easy one. We have Alley Strangler, or as I like to call him, Jack the Ripper. 2 in a black for an Aether-born rogue. It's a common. It has menace, and he's a 2/3.
I like this guy.
This is a solid beater.
Like 3 mana for a 2/3 with evasion. You know.
Yeah, solid beater.
That is
Seems
not
good.
a bad raid.
No, not at all.
Take them all day. Unlimited.
Absolutely.
I'd say he's early-ish.
Yeah, I would take him, like, not super early. I would take, if there aren't bombs or removal, like, this is the guy I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeff, do you want this next one?
I mean, I haven't really looked at the cards, but...
I didn't look at any of them last week. Go for it.
So, Battle at the Bridge. X in a black for a sorcery with Improvise. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn. You gain X life. Intriguing.
We talked about this a little bit on the previous show, but Battle at the Bridge is a very solid removal spell for, like, this is going to be the premier removal spell in the black-blue artifact deck that we're going to see.
Yep.
And I mean, this is a solid drain life effect. Like,
Yeah,
you just kill a creature and gain some life. Like,
Kill a really big guy, tap your servos to make sure he's really dead, and then you gain a bunch of life and get out of lethal.
yeah, and like this really like neuters aggro. And I like this card a lot. Like, I think this is definitely going to be solid. And this is obviously a first pick and limited. Like, even if you're not playing improvised, like, this is hardcore removal with upside.
Yep.
Like, you take this all day.
And it's rare.
Yeah. All right, who wants the next one?
The next card, how do you pronounce that? Is it Finality?
Finality. Yes.
Finality. Cruel Finality. It is 2 in a black, instant, common. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Scry 1.
I wish this card cost 1 less.
Yes.
I feel like it would be too good.
As a common, anyway.
It would be really, really, really
Like,
good.
as an uncommon, if they knocked it down 1 mana and made it uncommon, I would be okay with that. But at common, like, this feels about right for the rate you get. And I mean, like, the Scry 1 is not to be underestimated, because we saw a lot of work out of the blue Aether, or the blue Vidalkin that scried with energy. That guy did a lot of work for a lot of people in limited. And I think this is a decent removal spell to take. The art on it's kind of weird, though. Like, it looks like the demon's arm is only like 1.5 feet long.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like he's got like a stumpy arm. It's kind of goofy. But yeah, you know, decent removal. Take it early if you need it.
It's all right.
Bill, you get the cool card so far.
The cool card.
The cool card.
Next card is Daring Demolition. 2 and 2 black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature or vehicle.
Cool art, crappy card next.
This card's not that actually that bad. 4 mana for like a solid, an absolute kill spell, and I mean with the upside that you also get to, you can also kill one of their uncrewed vehicles.
Yeah.
That's the biggest benefit in my opinion is
Like
kill that Sky Sovereign for 4 mana.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like I want this card.
Way to go, Bill.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
But like I want this card for the siege modification deck that I know I'm going to end up playing against.
Yeah. I can't wait to play the 1-drop 7/11.
I kind of wish that they would have just added Planeswalker in there as well, because it's one mana more.
That would have been a lot nicer.
Then it wouldn't be common.
Yeah, this would not be common if it killed planeswalkers. They don't put that.
What was Ruinous Path?
Ruinous
It was a
Path
rare.
was a rare.
There's the Biobox promo.
Here's Downfall, rare.
Yeah.
Still, it's a
also
sorcery
an
speed.
instant.
I would still put Planeswalker on it.
Not for this cost.
No.
For 4?
If it
That's sorcery speed?
I mean, that's what
Ruinous Path was a sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
And it
cost
was
3.
3.
Yeah. It was only creature or Planeswalker, that's what I'm saying. With Awaken.
But it also had Awaken. And it was also a rare.
Yeah, it was a rare. It had.
Anyway.
It was a rare, and this is a common, so it's not going to kill a Planeswalker.
So, anyway. This is decent. Next up we have Defiant Salvager. It's 2 and a black for a common Aetherborn Artificer. Sacrifice an artifact or creature to put a 1/1 counter on the Salvager. You can only use this ability at sorcery speed. And it's a 2/2.
We have a carrion feeder.
This is fine. I mean, like, I feel like it wouldn't have been, like, busted to have that sacrifice be at instant speed, but as it stands, this is fine.
Yep, it's okay. It's fine. It's a solid card.
I mean, this is another filler card. Like, you're not unhappy. Like, Grey Ogre or something, you're not happy to play, you're not unhappy to play. This guy just kind of fills in.
Yep. All right.
Here we go.
I have the constructed playable card in every format. We have Fatal Push. It's black mana for an instant and an uncommon. Destroy target creature if it has a converted mana cost 2 or less. With Revolt, it turns into 4 or less.
Oh my goodness.
Oh god, $5 pre-orders.
Like, this card is bonkers.
So you can literally crack a fetch
Yeah.
and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, crack a fetch on
Crack
turn 1.
Crack a fetch, kill your Kalitas that you accidentally played on turn 1.
I know, right?
It's possible. Somewhat.
Find a way to cast through the breach for free or something.
That's about all I can think of.
It doesn't matter. Anyway,
Card's busted. Play it.
Fatal Push is very, very good. Like, this kills virtually every creature that sees play in Modern.
The big thing that I always try to do is I try to get my value back in singles whenever I draft. So this card will get you at least a third of your draft back.
For now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing this card's probably. I'm thinking once the hype train is over, this card's probably gonna sit at like $3, kind of like Aether Hub does.
Still pretty good.
I mean, it's good. I'm not saying it's gonna go like to other uncommon status, but I am saying that it's not gonna be $5 forever.
Oh no, that wasn't what I was saying, but okay.
But this is. I mean, this is pretty solid. I think, like, because I mean, like we said, kills every creature in Modern that's worth talking about.
Doesn't kill Emrakul.
Well, obviously it doesn't kill anything that Tron summons, but Tron is also like a tier 2.5 deck by now, because they lost Eye. So,
Aye.
Captain. But yeah, I mean, like, and even in limited, this card's okay. Like, it's, you know, a lot of it's not going to kill their bombs, but it'll get rid of virtually everything else. So.
I would still first pick this thing though.
Well, yeah, it's removal. I would absolutely first pick this if my rare was terrible, but
that rare has to be expensive for me.
I was gonna say, does that rare die to that?
well, but I see a lot of people passing Aether Hubs for their bombs, so nah.
All right, Jeff.
So Fendhauler, 6 and a black creature insect that's a common with improvise, and it can't be blocked by artifact creatures, and it's a 5/5.
I can't wait to play Holland Arse V2 with this card.
What?
Back in M14 when we had Corpse Hauler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drafted a playset of those, and I was just using them as goofy blockers. So I would block, sacrifice it to get a creature back from my graveyard, and then I would play a Corpse Hauler, and I would block with that Corpse Hauler to get back my Corpse Hauler.
Seems okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, I mean, like, this guy's pretty okay. Like, this is definitely your top curve if you're playing, like, the Black X in Limited.
But you can play this on, like, turn 3 if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, if you get, like, maybe... Well, not that... You can't even play that on turn 3. You could maybe get this guy on turn 4 if you went, like, Servo Expedition in, like... No, that doesn't work. The only way I could see this on turn 4 is, like, turn 2, the green guy that taps for green.
Yeah.
Turn 3, SRAM's Expedition.
Oh, you mean
SRAM's Expertise. Turn 4, this guy, maybe.
You mean turn 1 Affinity?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, if you went SRAM's Expertise into Servo Expedition, you'd have 5. So you could hit this guy on turn 4.
Yeah.
But you would have to have the perfect thing in 3 separate colors.
Seems fine.
So basically, it's a limited, a 5/5 for 5.
Yeah, probably.
And that's fine. And I mean, like, not being able to get chumped by servos is a nice little tack on. All right, big guy, it's you.
We got Foundry Hornet, a 3 and a black. It's an insect uncommon, a 2/3 flying. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn.
It's a pretty big hornet.
Oops, I killed your servos.
I would not want to get stung by this.
Yeah.
That stinger looks nasty.
Pretty good.
I'm okay with this card.
I'm fine with this card. Like, 2/3 flyer for 4 in black is a pretty good rate. And, like, even without the secondary effect to clear out their servos and their X ones, like, this is still a fine card.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with it. It's a good card.
Alrighty. What's up next, Bill?
Next card is Fourth Bridge Prowler. It is 1 black for a creature, human rogue. It's common. When Fourth Bridge Prowler enters the battlefield, you may have target creature get -1/-1 until end of turn. It is a 1/1.
This card is nuts.
It's a bunch of ones.
Yeah, that's a lot of ones.
For a 1/1 that gives -1/-1.
There are 3 ones on the, 6 ones on this card.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, there's 5 because there's
A black and yeah.
Well, are you counting the copyright text as well?
Oh man, we got a bunch of ones.
And also the one on the collector.
Yeah.
Remember?
I really like this guy. Like he's decent.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel for one,
Yeah.
he does a lot of work.
If you're in black already, do it. This
Absolutely.
guy's good. Yeah.
All
You
right.
get this sweet card too.
And speaking of good, our next card.
How are we going to make it through this before effing out?
I don't
We got
know.
90 minutes. We're good.
Well, we got more than that. Anyway.
We don't. It's more than that. Way more than that.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Next card
I'm hungry.
is
I'm
gifted.
Jared.
Next card is gifted Aetherborn.
What is it?
I'm sorry, Dakota. I missed that. What?
It's vampire that rides a bus.
The next card we have is Gifted Aetherborn. It's black for a uncommon Aetherborn vampire. It's a 2/3 with Death Touch and Lifelink.
See, pretty good.
You know what this guy is?
Vampire Knight takes the bus.
Vampire Nightwalk.
Ah.
That's too slow.
For 1 less.
Maybe he takes the Metro,
No.
Or like
that's
the-
too fast.
like the PRT.
Rides a hoverboard.
Yeah, there you go. That's slow enough. He uses a Segway. He's classy like that.
He's
And he
like
vapes while
he's
he
Paul
does it.
Blart. But this guy is better than half the rares in this set. Like,
Yeah.
for real. A 2/3, like, means that he's not gonna die to any of, like, the 2X's that run around, like, all the 2/3s in this set. This guy eats them and gets value. Like, I would almost always first pick this guy pack 1 unless like the rare is really, really good.
I mean, this forces you into black pretty hard.
It does, but if you got this guy, you're pretty happy to be in black.
Yeah, but I really don't know.
Like, you don't want to splash this guy. Like,
No.
if you're in pack 3 and you open this and you're like solidly white-green, like, let it go.
Hate draft.
Dice Fatal Push. It's bad.
That's the fatal push.
But I mean, this guy's fine. You know,
I like it.
I would
That's a good
definitely a high pick.
Yep. All right, I got this one. We have Dark Confabob. No, actually, it's Glint Sleeve Siphoner. For 1 and a black, she's a human rogue. She's a rare, has menace, and whenever she attacks, when she enters the battlefield or attacks, I missed that. You get an energy, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, you can pay 2 energy. If you do, you draw a card and lose a life, and she's a 2/1. Card dies the fatal push. Awful. Actually, I think this card's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Probably be pretty good limited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 2/1s for 2 are normally like meh, but this one getting menace is pretty solid, and making energy is good. And I like that it's not a Dark Confidant effect.
Yep.
It's actually a Phyrexian Arena effect.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, this girl's solid.
Yep, she's really good. Yep. All right, Jeff, get him, Slugger.
This is a weird card.
It's really cool.
What is it? Gonti's Machinations?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
For 1 black, it's an enchantment, it's an uncommon. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, you get energy and pay double energy, sacrifice it. Each opponent loses 3 life. You gain life equal to the life lost this way.
I like this card, especially if you have a way to recur it.
This card's not actually that great and limited, it seems.
It's not, but I like this card still.
I mean, I like the idea behind this card. I just
Weird.
wish it wasn't I just wish it wasn't like, because the problem is like whenever you have to lose life to gain energy, and it's not a 1-to-1 rate, so like you're only making 1 energy per turn at max.
But you remember that card I just read?
Yeah, what about it?
Combo.
Yeah, but you have to get this card and that card.
That's fine. There are other ways to lose life, like getting punched in the face.
Yeah, except not getting it at a 1-to-1 rate means that you'll probably die faster than whatever energy you gain from this. And yes, you do get the drain effect, but then you lose the energy gain, so it's just kind of like a trade-off.
But you gain 3 life.
I feel like basically, I feel like the amount of time you have to invest into this card, like, while you're trying to do shenanigans with this, they're playing creatures and killing you.
I mean, yeah, but this is 1 mana. You're not going to do anything like with other 1 mana.
How about we
things.
just say this card takes too long to set up? Pass.
It's awful, but I still like it. I'm going to draft it just to make people shut up.
Okay, Kibler, who tries to make Purify good.
Purify is good. Purify is the best card out of that set. All right, Devin. You're the big guy.
Herald of Anguish. 5/2 black demon mythic. It's a 5/5 with improvise, flying. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent discards a card. 1 and a black. Sacrifice an artifact. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn.
As a mythic creature, this guy seems good.
As a black mythic creature.
Yeah.
I can't wait to not guess this guy during games of Card Go.
Yeah, I know, right?
But I mean, this guy is
Card Go.
pretty solid for a mythic. Like,
Is it a black mythic creature?
Yes.
Is it, oh god, I can't remember the card from Born of the Gods.
Was it like some
it was
terrible skeleton?
it was Champion of Stray Souls.
That's it, yeah.
Anyway, but going back to Herald of Anguish, this card is pretty decent. Like, as a bomb, like, these abilities mean that you could probably get away with this for 5 mana.
And you'll probably pick up the Vampire Nightwalk after you draft this guy first pick.
Okay, let's not be unrealistic. You know, the
I'm not.
Ghani's Machinations thing was okay, but this, I don't know. It seems like, I mean, like, so far, just looking through this, it seems like black's going to be a very hotly contested color, kind of like how,
Blue-black improvise is going to be stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every set, though. Black's like the powerhouse.
And I mean, like, as a flying
Almost.
beater, this guy's fine, but then at the end of your end step, you make your opponent pitch a card.
Yeah.
Like, this seems really solid.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
the kill effect is, like, it's whatever. Like, pitch a servo, hit something. And it's nice because it means you can affect combat at instant speed.
Yep.
I like this card.
I
It's
do too.
good. Pick it first.
Didn't you say I wanted this for Kalia, and I was just like, eh.
It was
It-
because of the discard, but yeah.
This card's not really that great for Kalia. Like, if you want to make your opponent discard cards, just play wheels like everybody else.
Yeah.
Or Sire of Insanity.
Or that.
All right, next card is Ironclad Revolutionary.
It's very pretty.
It is. Although that doesn't look like iron.
No, it looks like bronze.
I agree. Anyhow, he is ironclad and a revolutionary, and he costs 4 and 2 black. He's a creature, Aetherborn Artificer, uncommon. When Ironclad Revolutionary enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Ironclad Revolutionary, and each opponent loses 2 life. He starts out as a 4/4.
I'm okay with this card.
Technically a 6/6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
a 6/6 ain't terrible.
No.
Like,
It's a 6/6 for 6.
He's a
If
late
you...
Yeah.
he's definitely a late pick. Like, you're probably not, like, this is easily a 10th pick card.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you take when you're looking for your color and you don't have anything else in the pack.
I don't know why, but whenever I look at the art for this card, if anybody's ever played Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, I think of Damon's second form.
Yeah, I thought I saw something on Reddit that said this guy looked like somebody from a video game, but I don't think it was any of those. Anyway, this guy's whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the drain effect is cute.
Yeah.
That's about all this card is.
Yeah.
All right.
6/6.
The next card that we are looking at is Midnight Entourage. For 2 and double black, it is a creature Aetherborn rogue. It's a rare. Other Aetherborn you control get +1/+1, and whenever Midnight Entourage or another Aetherborn you control dies, you draw a card and you lose a life. I
An
like this
Aetherborn
guy.
Lord?
Pretty good.
He seems okay. Yeah, he's an Aetherborn Lord. Yeah.
He's
Wow.
an Aetherborn Lord that gives you a Phyrexian Arena. That seems to be showing up a lot.
Yeah. This seems okay. I
Um,
can get on board with it.
this guy's solid.
Yeah.
Do you take this guy? Now here's a question: do you take this guy over Vampire Nightwalk?
Ooh.
Pack 1.
Ooh.
I wouldn't.
No. I don't think so.
Me neither.
I think it would wheel just because it's, creature specific.
Yeah.
Well, I would.
There's a lot of Aetherborns.
Well, the thing is, I would probably take this specifically because now, like, if I have this, I know I want to build Aetherborn. Like, so I want to be in black and X.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get the other guy to wheel. Probably not, but, crazier things have happened.
All right. Now, this guy I really like. I accidentally saw him yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Night Market Aeronaut. It's 3 and a black for a creature Aetherborn warrior. He's a common, has flying, and he revolts to get a +1/+1 counter. And he's a 2/2 starting.
So basically, if he revolts, he enters as a flying hill giant.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's definitely a solid card.
Yeah.
Like, this is the card you want to get as much as you can in your revolt decks that are black centric.
Yep.
Like 3/3 flyer, 3/3 power, 3 power flyers for 4 mana. And the fact that this guy's a 3/3 means that he doesn't die to shock or any of the other like X1 kill spells.
Windrake.
Like, this guy eats Windrakes. Like, this guy's pretty solid.
He's not terrible.
Anyway, but don't take him too early. Take him when you need him.
So, next card. Perilous Predicament. 4 and a black for an instant uncommon. Each opponent sacks an artifact creature and a non-artifact creature.
I'm okay with this.
This is a fine card because this says kill your vehicle and then kill the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 5 though, but
Well, but the
Still.
thing is, like, yeah, a 2-for-1 for 5 is not a bad rate, especially
an instant.
especially on an instant, like,
especially instant and
and
especially
considering
limited.
all the powerful vehicles that are in this set. Like, you're gonna want a card like this if you can get your hands on it, and the fact that it's only a single black makes it an easy splash.
Yep.
Seems good limited, but
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not gonna go anywhere in constructed, but like, we've got other kill spells for that.
yeah.
Anyway, Devin, would you like to take the next card?
And my spoilers turned off on me.
Oh, way to go.
All right, so we got Renegade's Getaway. My bad. 2 and a black, instant common. Target permanent gains indestructible until end of turn. Create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token.
This is a really good card. This is a really good combat trick.
Oh yeah, like, well, it's not even just a combat trick. Because it says target permanent,
Yeah.
that means if they try to gun your vehicle down with like, the one, not the previous kill spell, but the other kill spell that we
Let's
saw,
say Fatal Push.
like Fatal Push, like yeah, you just kind of laugh at them, and then you also get a servo.
Okay, I just got a really bad vision in my head.
What?
So somebody fatally pushes a smuggler's copter over a cliff. That wouldn't work.
No, not so much.
Non-standard, anyway.
Well, what if so the Fatal Push? It's not like on the art. It's not a push. It's a kick. So what if they just like kick through like the window on the copter, and then they kick the pilot in the face, and it just breaks his neck?
Oh man.
That's how you kill. That's how Fatal Push kills the copter.
Okay, I got it.
But the pilot somehow is still alive because vehicles.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a solid trick. Like, don't take too many of these. This is probably a 2 of at most.
Yep. All right, Bill. Let's do this.
Next one is Resourceful Return. It is 1 in a black for sorcery. Common. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If you control an artifact, draw a card.
It's Raise Dead with a cantrip stapled to it for 1 extra mana.
Yeah, but you only get the cantrip if you have an artifact.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, which isn't hard.
No.
Like,
But still, yeah.
I don't know. Well, depending on the matchup, I might play one of these.
Do you think any Delirium decks might try to run it? See how it goes?
Probably not. What artifacts does Delirium run? Especially now that Copter is now on the chopping block.
A lot of Delirium decks don't run Copter. But like, a few run Talus Trackers.
I mean,
Depends on your build.
guess. I don't know. It feels too like I think I'd rather play like was Macabre Waltz?
Well, not
in
even for
Moon?
like the draw
Or was
effect
it in
though.
Shadows?
It was,
Because it was in one of them. I'd rather play
I
that.
think it was in Shadows.
But either way, I'd rather play Macabre Waltz and Delirium than this.
Macabre Waltz is pretty cool.
What's that?
That's the return 2 creatures to your hand, pitch a card.
How much?
2.
It's 2.
Is it sorcery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, but don't worry. That card is absolutely playable compared to this next one. Because I rolled a stinker now. The next card we're looking at is Secret Salvage. This is 3 and double black. It is a rare sorcery that reads, exile target non-land card from your graveyard. Search your library for any number of cards with the same name as that card, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle.
Okay, I want you to tell me why you think that card's terrible.
Because this just, like, I can't...
Because it's 5 mana.
Well, it's 5 mana for a tutor, first of all. But, like, and I get what you're saying, like, you get multiple copies of something. But first, you have to go through the effort of getting the card you want in your graveyard, which I don't think I see for Standard, and I certainly don't see for Limited. And then, for Limited specifically, you would have to have multiple copies of whatever you're pitching in order for this to be good.
Okay, in Limited, yeah, you're correct. But in Constructed, I want you to think of this for a second. Let's say Emrakul wasn't banned.
Okay, I guess.
Okay, so you get your Emrakul in the graveyard. You already have enough mana on the board that you could probably play an Emrakul no problem. So you go Secret Salvage, removing your Emrakul. You have 3 Emrakuls. You now have 3 Emrakul triggers to kill your opponent with.
Okay, but how about a relevant example?
Is that modern?
No, that's Standard that I was talking about.
He was
Emrakul.
saying if Emrakul wasn't
Oh.
banned, but I was
Yes.
just like, I need a relevant example for this card to be good.
Dollar rare next.
Yep.
Okay,
this is your search the city.
I still think I'm onto something, but okay.
Dollar rare.
Hey, could be.
I could be. That's why I'm going to brew with it and hopefully get there. We have Sly Requisitioner. I like that card name. It's 4 and a black for a human artificer. She's an uncommon. She has Improvise. Whenever a non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you create a servo, and she's a 2/2. I don't think this card is terrible. I think it's got something.
I mean, like, this is definitely the card that you don't take just as a black card, because 5 mana for a 2/2 is just not great.
Right.
But if you're in the improvised deck, this is the card you absolutely want to have. Like, because I'd feel okay getting, like, I wouldn't feel okay playing this for more than 3 mana, because 4 mana with no evasion is just kind of poopy. But, you know, this card's definitely solid. Like, I could see myself, like, this is your blue-black improvised plant.
Yep.
Speaking of solid cards, this one seems pretty good. Vengeful Rebel, 2 and a black. He's a creature, Aetherborn Warrior. It's a 3/2 and has Revolt. Whenever something leaves your field, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn.
Well, no, it's when he enters the
When he
battlefield.
enters.
If you had Revolt, then he -3/-3.
Authority, I can't RTC.
Yeah.
Skip the entire line of text.
Well, he's a 3/2 and an uncommon, and eat your heart out, Wasteland Strangler, because this card's literally better than that.
Wasteland Strangler sounds like a guy who was like a mass murderer in the 70s that came back recently.
From a wasteland.
Yeah. But that's good removal.
This is
pretty good.
like, yeah, even like 3 mana 3/2s are playable, as we've seen in Kaladesh, but getting a kill spell on top of that that gets rid of, like, this card kills Gifted Aetherborn.
Yeah. All right.
Take that. Your bus pass has been revoked.
Not bad.
So the next card, is that Yahini?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yahini. Yahini, Undying Partisan. It is 2 and a black, legendary creature, Aetherborn Vampire, rare. It's a 2/2 with haste, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and sacrifice another creature. Yahini gains indestructible until end of turn.
We have a 3 mana Sengir Vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I like this card a lot. Like, getting the haste is really nice on this, and then the Sengir Vampire stuff's also really solid.
I always did like the vampire essence sucking ability.
Especially when it comes to making a bunch of servos and just feeding it to them.
But yeah, like, this is a card that you want to get early.
It's a solid pick. All right, Bill, you get the big one.
He gets
Like-
Biggin.
the
Just
last
like this
card
one.
for black in Aether Revolt.
Yaheni's Expertise is 2 and 2 black. For sorcery, it is rare. All creatures get -3/-3 until end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost of 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost.
Sounds like a good blue, black, white control deck.
You know what I can't wait to happen to me in Limited?
Why?
And it's going to happen tonight. My opponent is going to go turn 4 in their white-black control deck. Yaheni's Expertise into a Saheeli that they splashed only 1 mountain and 1 island for. And then on turn 5, they're going to play the cat. And they're going to go infinite. And they're going to kill me.
So this card's pretty good.
Like, yeah,
Yes,
this
it is
card,
good.
like, Damnation, this is not, but this is still very solid. Like, this
This-
is going to see play in all four, like, in Standard and... do you think it's Modern playable at all?
The Cascade makes it possible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like,
This is definitely a decent Darnation.
The only way I see a borderline is because of the mana cost, but still.
well, I mean, like, the mana cost's no issue, because we
4
were
mana,
playing...
I don't think it's bad.
True.
we were playing Languish for a little bit, but
Yeah.
but like having the free spell tacked onto this,
Yep.
I feel like might push it into playable territory.
Yeah.
Because you could like go this into like any number of things, like this into Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, I was going to say, wipe the board, play a Goyf, or play a Bob, or something like it.
Yeah,
Now, remind me, Languish was
neg 4, neg
neg 4, neg 4
For
to all
4.
creatures for 4. Okay.
Yeah, it was an actual true Darnation.
Right.
Yeah.
I love
But-
losing 1 and gaining the ability to drop a 3 or less drop for free.
I actually, I really think that we're going to see some sort of Mardu control deck, or like a Grixis control build, where they're going to play that, and then just to make sure they kill everything else, they cause a Lex return.
I could see that. I mean,
Yeah.
that would not be a bad play.
No, not at all.
Abzan Super Friends.
Alrighty, so
Black seems good.
black is definitely solid. Like as far as limited goes, and there's a lot of cards here that'll impact constructed. So
I just
I'm
thought of something.
I'm
What?
pretty happy with black.
I want to play Yahini's expertise and then drop a Tybalt off it.
Oh god. Oh god.
All right. So
Speaking of terrible-
speaking of undercosted red cards, I'm taking the legendary and the expertise for red.
Oh.
Yes, deal it. You got fatal push. Shut up.
But
Ether Chaser
what
is
that?
our first card in red.
Okay.
It is 1 and a red.
Hold on. I
Oh,
want to make a compromise. I want the token.
okay.
Okay.
Token.
Yeah.
All right. So we're moving on to red now. And the first card, which I'm ironically doing again, ain't that funny, is Aether Chaser. It's 1 in a red for a common human artificer. It has first strike, enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and when it attacks, you pay 2 energy to make a servo, and it's a 2/1. This guy is like probably one of the better in the cycle, just because the first strike matters.
Yeah. The first strike is very
Like,
important.
2 mana 2/1s we mentioned, they're like whatever, but having the first strike means this guy wins a lot more in combat.
Yeah. That guy's pretty good. I don't think you make the servo because you just leave that guy up.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
like, there's stuff in red, like, especially in Kaladesh, there's a lot of stuff in red that spends energy to do stuff, so, you leave this up, and then, like, the server's just like, man, whatever.
Yeah. You don't care about the servo.
This guy's okay.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yep, I do too. All right, we have a removal spell. It's Chandra's Revolution. It's 3 in a red for a sorcery at common. Now, this card is really weird because it does something that red doesn't do. Chandra's Revolution deals 4 damage to a creature. Now, this is something that red does. But the thing that red doesn't do, you tap target land, that land doesn't untap until the very next turn.
Well, actually, Wizards has been moving tap, like, freeze a land into red since Eldritch Moon, because there was the Stesnia Innkeeper, or whatever
Oh yeah,
it
the
was.
vampire.
Didn't see that card.
Basically, it was like a 3/2 or something for 4 that was like, when it enters, freeze a land.
That's weird. Okay.
But, like, the idea is because red had land destruction as part of its color pack for a
Yeah.
long time. But Wizards doesn't want to give us true land destruction because it's not fun. It leads to bad game states.
Yeah, Ponza.
So, what they're doing is trying to give red land suppression, I guess, is what the word I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
I guess that could be.
And I mean, like, I'm fine with that because, like, I don't like dedicated land destruction for the reasons stated. But this feels okay because you don't, like, lose the land for good, but it does slow down their production.
Yeah.
Especially if you curve out on this thing and tap down one of their lands in limited, that can be game ending.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because, like, the disruption, that matters a lot.
Yeah.
Especially since this also kills a thing.
Yeah. Because a lot of the times you keep 3 landers, and I know myself, I don't see a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
So
That happens more often than I would care to admit.
and your opponent could be trying to play their Yeheni, and you could be playing this to counter their Yeheni, basically.
For a turn.
Yeah. This seems fine. I mean, 4 mana is a little steep, but it seems okay still because of the land freezing.
Yeah, I mean, 4 for 4 is not bad.
Yeah.
You could do way worse.
All right, Jeff, you get this card.
Destructive Tampering, 2 in a red for a sorcery. It's a common. To choose one, destroy target artifact, or creatures without flying cannot block this turn.
This is an okay Alpha Strike card.
I feel like this is definitely just like Magmatic Chasm.
Yeah.
Now question, because I know some of the aggro decks were playing Magmatic Chasm in the sideboard. Do you think this will replace it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it has the extra mode.
Yeah, having the extra mode is nice.
Or Shatter.
Like
Exactly.
between Shatter,
Overpriced Shatter.
Shatter Staple Defaulter. Like, I like this card.
Devin.
Embrawl Gear Smasher.
Woo!
2 in a red, human warrior, common. It's a 2/3. Tap, sacrifice an artifact. It deals 2 damage to each opponent.
Decent blocker.
Yeah.
Decent effect.
Yeah.
Decent mana cost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Decent card.
If you make servos, this guy can become a clock that your opponent has to deal with. Because like, yes, 10-turn clock at first, but like if you're in red, that means you're probably going to be punching them in the face with other stuff anyway.
Block with servo. Throw to servo.
Exactly. Like, and that's how you beat them in the race, because you just chump block them with servos and just like pitch them. I like this guy.
I do too.
I really do.
I really like this next guy too.
All right.
This next guy is Enraged Giant. He's 5 in a red. Creature is giant, uncommon, has improvise, trample, and haste for 4/4.
Now, the only thing that I didn't like about this
Is the fact that he looks like a shaved Yeti.
Yes! I actually originally thought that this was a Yeti.
Yeah, I looked at this guy and I'm just like, did the abominable snowman go to the barbers and then give him bad
Take a little off the
instructions?
top, fam.
Really glad you said that,
This is
because
like the-
I didn't make that
This
connection
is
at
like
first.
the crappy dentist, the photo of the dentist with the crappy haircut that they then photoshopped onto Brendan Fraser for some reason.
Yep.
I'm sitting here trying to think of a Yeti pun, but I can't think of any.
Are you ready? Not Yeti.
That's too easy.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was trying to be clever.
Well, I mean, like you could just go all Reggie Fils-Aimé and be all my body is Yeti. Moving on.
I'm leaving. I'm done.
Podcast over.
You guys finish this yourselves.
Next up, we have Free Jam Regent. That name's interesting. It's 4 in double red for a rare dragon. It has improvise and flying, and 1 in a red to give it +2/+0, so kind of like double fire breathing, and it's a 4/4.
Face palm Regent, because when your opponent casts this on turn 4, you just face palm and then you get up from the table and leave.
I mean, like, I think I'd rather fight this guy than the Skyship Harrier or whatever it was from Kaladesh, because that guy could gain first strike, which made fighting it like absolute hell.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about this name, Free Jam. Is he like gonna pump up the base?
Well, I think what it is
I think it's a location in Kaladesh.
I actually think that this is a mix between the song Freebird and Pearl Jam doing it.
Well, he kind of even like if you look where his hands are, he kind of looks like he's operating a turntable, like an air turntable.
Yep.
Wicka wicka wicka. Anyway, but yeah, this guy's your red bomb. Like Dargans are good. Next,
I get the bad card.
This guy's not that.
Okay.
This guy's not that bad.
We got Frontline Rebel. He's 2 in a red for a human warrior at common. It attacks each turn if able. It's a 3/3. Passes vanilla test, but the vanilla test doesn't apply to this guy because he turns sideways.
I mean, that's really all you want this guy to do, and I like the little Les Miserables reference in here.
Yeah.
But you know, this guy is like, this is one of your filler cards for red. You play this guy, you're not happy to see him, you're not unhappy to see him. He's a 3/3, which means he trades with Gifted Aetherborn.
Yep. All right, Jeff.
Gremlin Infestation. 3 in a red for an enchantment. It's an uncommon. It's an enchant artifact. At the beginning of your end step, Gremlin Infestation deals 2 damage to enchanted artifact's controller. And when enchanted artifact is put into a graveyard, create a 2/2 red opossum creature token.
Opossum.
You mean Gremlin?
It's an well, we'll get to that later from what you showed me.
No, we already did that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to just stick this on a vehicle and just like watch as
Snaker.
just kind of, yeah, because I mean, like, the thing is, if you can get this on an early vehicle that can't be crewed yet, like, this just becomes awful for your opponent.
I think that the prime
Pretty good.
target for this thing to be on is the 7-Eleven vehicle.
Yeah, if they're gonna, like, this is if you're a red deck playing against like the 7-Eleven boat that they got siege modification for, which we'll talk about. This card just absolutely punishes them for that.
It really does.
You play it on their vehicle, and then you do the typical 80s cartoon villain evil laugh, goatee stroke.
You mean no? In the 80s, it was the mustache.
Yeah, it was
you,
mustache
you
twirl.
twirl your mustache.
Yes.
I thought that was more like 60s, where the whole mustache thing.
Doesn't matter. It could be a combo.
Combo. All right. This card makes me almost want to play Burn, but I really don't like Burn right now because
What's
it's not
Burn in
good.
standard?
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got Hungry Flames. What?
Woo!
I believe that's your card, sir.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Jeff read it. Okay,
Is it?
get him, Slugger. Get him.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah.
We got Hungry Flames.
No, you're not.
You're right.
2 in a red. Uncommon instant. Deals 3 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player.
I like this card a lot.
This card is definitely solid. Like, it might not bring burn back, but it's getting there.
Yep.
Like, if we can get one more good burn spell out of like Amonkhet, like we're ready to go.
We need 2.
Oh, but we
need
are.
3 damage for 2 mana,
We're not gonna get.
and
3
we're never
damage.
gonna get that.
Yeah, we're never getting
do we
lightning
need?
strike.
Hmm?
Well, we have 3 damage for 2 mana. We have incendiary flow.
Well, we need another one.
We got Harness Lightning.
Harness lightning doesn't deal to the face.
Oh,
damage.
to the face.
To the
I didn't hear
face.
that. I didn't hear that. We got another burn spell coming up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, this is a good card. This is a really good card.
This is, and I mean, obviously, this is solid and limited. Good removal.
Yep. William.
Indomitable creativity. X and 3 red for a mythic sorcery
Ooh.
with very pretty art.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait to see it foil.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Oh, yeah, that'll be really nice in foil. Anyhow, the card destroy X, target artifact and or creatures. For each permanent destroyed this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of his or her library until an artifact or creature card is revealed and exiles that card. Those players put the exiled cards onto the battlefield, then shuffle their libraries.
Seems weird.
Well, here's the thing. It's Chaos Warp
Yeah.
for multiple targets. Although
Yeah.
this is worse than Chaos Warp because this has to find something.
Well, I mean, you could just permanently kill something potentially.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Like, they could not hit an artifact or a creature.
Well, but they have to not be playing any artifacts at all because they'll keep flipping cards until they hit something.
Yeah, which is fine.
Chaos Warp, like, was you hit them and
Yeah.
then they flip the
Right.
top card, and if it was a permanent, they would get it.
Yeah,
But this makes them flip until they hit something, which
Right.
I don't like as much.
but you can
And,
do
like,
it multiple times.
And that's the thing. Like, you get the multi-advantage.
Yeah. You
So,
get the
I mean, like,
multi-kicker.
this is like, I would... Would you play this in Limited?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Just hit your stuff.
Anything else?
I don't think I would hit my stuff with this. That seems too risky.
It depends on what you have in your deck left.
Yeah.
Because you're going to cast this card late, and I mean late. You're going to blow up all of their stuff because you probably have seen all their good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you probably haven't seen your good stuff knowing my luck. So you're going to blow up like 2 of your things and like all of theirs.
Okay, that
Yeah.
seems decent.
That's the hope anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, somebody else take this because I got my cards up next. So
I get the token from the other one.
okay, well, you do that.
All right. Invigorated Rampage. It's 1 in a red for an instant and uncommon. Choose one. Target creature gets +4/+0 and gains trample until end of turn. Or 2 target creatures each get +2/+0, gain trample until end of turn. This is your pummeler finisher.
I can't wait to get blown out by this card in
It's gonna be
Limited.
so good.
The fact that this is instant is mind-boggling. Like, and
we never get anything that gives trample at instant.
yeah,
Or if it did, it gives only trample.
Right.
Yeah.
but I mean, this is a pretty decent combat trick. Like, getting to pound through, like, just pounding through for those last few points of damage matters a lot, especially
Yep.
for red.
Yep.
And I want to play this card with our next card,
Yeah.
which is Kari Zev, Skyship Raider. She is 1 in a red for a legendary creature, human pirate. She's rare. She has First Strike and Menace, and whenever she attacks, you create a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token named Ragavan that's tapped and attacking, and you exile the token at end of combat. She is a 1/3.
Does it summon Patches? This card's terrible.
This is better than Patches.
Patches sticks around.
You can't draw Patches. Well, you can draw Patches. You can't draw Ragavan.
Like, I wish this card was not red. Like, you have no idea. Like, I saw this card and I was excited, but then I looked at the mana cost and I'm just like, but why?
I'm fine with it, actually. I'm fine with it being red. This is definitely a red card.
They could have done it. They could have made this a blue card because, I mean, like, Geist of St. Traff was blue and white for this effect.
Yeah, but this is a monkey at 2.
It could have been a monk. They, like, blue stuff turns things into green stuff. She could have had a green monkey. A blue creature with a green monkey.
No, I'm not going to go there. It's fine.
Shut up.
SFW.
Anyway, but I mean, this card's pretty solid. Like, I just like the goofiness of summoning a monkey in combat because effectively together they are a 3/4 for 2. So.
Yeah. That's why I'm fine with this.
And the first strike is nice, and the menace is really nice because normally they would block Kari.
Yep.
But yeah, this is pretty solid. And then next up, we have Kari Zev's Expertise. It's 1 and double red for rare sorcery. Gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste, and you may cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less for free. So the reason I wanted to take this card was because it was recently announced that at GP Pittsburgh, this is the playmat art.
Yeah.
Not the John Avon piece that we were promised.
I didn't even see anywhere where there was supposed to be a John Avon piece, but...
There's a screenshot on the thread I posted.
Okay.
But, I mean, this card's okay. Like, it's hijack with an extra thing.
Yeah.
But the problem is, at this cost, in Limited especially, I feel like you're not going to be able to get much off of this. Like, you play a Threaten, and then, like, you get, like, a bear or something.
Yeah.
Woo!
You get a Vampire Nightwalk.
Well, yeah.
That seemed pretty good.
I mean, if you're in black and red, I guess that's possible. But
we'll see how
that sounds very, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're definitely reaching.
This is very corner case.
This is a card that, like, this is, if I open this and I see this in Gifted Aetherborn Pack 1, I'm taking Gifted Aetherborn. This can go by the wayside.
All right. Now, moving on, I'm going to take the boring card because I want Jeff to read something cool.
Okay.
Even though I don't know if it's cool or not. We have Lathnu Sailback. It's 4 and a red for a lizard. It's a vanilla common. It's a 5/4.
I mean, I like the art.
I think it's an okay card.
Vanilla card is vanilla.
Like, this is like, if you need a curve topper, this guy doesn't do the worst job.
No.
Like,
he does a good fill-in work job. He's Union.
Like, you're not going to get great performance out of him. You're not going to hate him. Like, they have to answer this guy or else he's just going to run you over.
Just like this next guy.
Meh.
I'd actually count the symbols to make sure that it was properly right.
It actually tells you in the reminder text.
Well, not the big one, of course. Only the little one.
You just have to multiply it by 4.
Lightning Runner, 3 and double red for a creature human warrior. That's mythic, right?
Yes.
For a 2/2, has double strike and haste. Whenever Lightning Runner attacks, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay 8 energy. If you pay, untap all creatures you control, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase.
I feel like the only reason that this guy is mythic is because they added the double strike and haste on.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if they did not add, like, double strike probably would have still pushed this into mythic, but if they had just made this hasty, I feel like they could have gotten away with printing this at rare.
I actually feel like the reason why is because of the gratuitous violence trigger.
Well, the gratuitous violence has always been a rare effect. Like, even in the post-mythic world, like on Charging Hellkite or whatever it was.
That was because WotC didn't know what they were doing. Because they also gave us Bear Umbra in that block.
They also gave us Jace the Mind Sculptor.
Yeah. See what I mean?
But you act like they know what they're doing now.
They still don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. So this could have been rare.
Considering that people are now complaining about Reflector Mage whenever Collective Company was a deck.
Yeah. Reflector Mage was fine.
Anyway.
Did you? Never mind. Oh,
like-
wait.
But I played a deck that didn't get bothered by it.
No, I was going to say, did you see their Wizard's explanation for banning it?
Yeah.
Because it was in blue-white flash.
Yeah. What was their reason for Emrakul? It was oppressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. For right now, Lightning Run, the only thing I'm a little concerned with is the fact that I feel like they needed to, like, this card's not, I don't think this card is constructed playable at all.
No.
I'm
Like-
going to play the crap out of it. I love it.
Are you?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I mean, well, the problem is it dies to shock.
Okay.
Milligan.
Dies to shock.
So
Okay.
Bad.
Technically, so does Tarmogoyf.
Guess what doesn't die to? Well, what it doesn't die to?
Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Okay.
boom.
I'm going to play Shock.
You know what else doesn't die?
Dude,
you know what
you
else
just
dies
play-
to shock? And it's
play-
$50. Bob.
Yeah.
You just play your green red energy deck and throw this in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
all
why
you
wouldn't
do.
you just play Pummeler?
You would play Pummeler.
And this.
But
This
why
is,
wouldn't you?
this is your oh crap, I'm going to lose this game unless I hit him twice button.
I don't know. I
Dude,
don't
this
think
gives you two
card's that-
combats.
It's just too tiny. It's essentially a 4/2 for 5 mana.
Okay.
That's not a good rate.
You're not a good rate. Oh.
Double strike and haste, man. It's alright.
Devin, you get this bad card.
This card's not bad.
Pia's Revolution.
It's because he's had 2 bad cards.
It's Pia's Revolution. 2 in a red, enchantment, rare. Whenever a non-token artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to your hand unless target opponent has Pia's Revolution. Deal 3 damage to them.
Like,
Don't they have to own PS Revolution to have them deal it 3 to them?
No.
anyway, now that we're done with whose line is it anyway? Amateur hour. I might actually see, like, I think this card might actually be playable and constructed in, like, the Grixis artifact shell. Just because, like,
I don't understand why he couldn't text you.
you play, like, a lot of, like, in that deck, I imagine you play, like, Scrap Trawler and Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Mhm.
And those cards go, like, cycle in and out of the graveyard so fast that this just is either continuous value or just absolute, like, it just keeps the pressure
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is a very decent Punisher card. But, you know, I think this is really solid. And in casual, like, I'm going to play this in every red artifact commander deck. Like, all day or day.
Mhm.
You know, it's probably not that great for limited. Like, if you're in, like, a red-blue or red-black improvised shell, then maybe. But, you know. This is a card you take because, not because you want to play it in your limited deck. This is a card you take because you need a copy of it. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Bill, you got the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah. Precise Strike. 1 red. Instant common. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. That seems okay.
good combat
Yeah,
trick.
It's a decent
absolutely.
combat
For
trick.
1 red, just leave 1 red up. Your dude that was gonna die isn't now, or
I mean,
Oh.
Sure Strike was a card. It wasn't a good card. It was a card.
I don't know. It seems fine and limited.
Like, and this seems okay. I wouldn't want to play more than 1 or 2 of these at most. Because this isn't a card you want to use to push through for damage.
No, I agree with that.
Like, this is a card you use to, like,
Kill
blow
a dude.
someone out. Yeah. It's fine. Like, you can pick it up late. This isn't a card you need to take early. It'll wheel. Next up, we have Quicksmith Rebel, which is 3 in a red. It's a rare human artificer that reads, when it enters the battlefield, target artifact you control gains tap. This artifact deals 2 damage to target creature or player for as long as you control Quicksmith Rebel. It is a 3/2.
I mean, given an enchantment, well, an artifact shock doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the only thing is, this being a 4 mana 3/2, besides the fact that this dies to shock,
God, everything dies to something. Don't worry about it dying.
but the question is it worth the investment? And I don't think this guy is worth that investment, because you want this card has kind of like a weird dichotomy where you want to attack with this guy because he's got like attack worthy stats,
Right.
but you don't want him to die in combat because you lose the other valuable effect that you get off of this.
Well, if he dies the shock, you at least get the shock in return.
Yeah, you get to shock them right in the face.
True, and like if you face Quicksmith versus Quicksmith Rebel, you just like whoever, or like you just trade them straight up.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. That's what happens.
I don't know. I don't like this guy. Like, I'll take him if I open pack 3 and there's nothing else in the pack and I'm in red.
Yep. All right, I'll take this one because it's my turn anyway. We have functional reprint ATOG.
Yeah.
It's Ravenous Intruder. It's 1 or red for a gremlin and uncommon. Sacrifice an artifact. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and it's a 1/2.
This guy is why you lost it, the pre-release in Kaladesh, because he's very clearly about to eat that soul ring.
Yep. Oh my god, he is. But I bet Rich J was kind of salty seeing this one because he's a big ATOG fan.
I mean, we're gonna next time we go back to wherever
Yeah.
they're at, because they're on a couple planes now, I think.
Yeah.
But this seems okay.
He's okay.
Like, eat a servo, get bigger.
He's your game winner.
Hooray.
Yeah. All right, there you go, Jeff. Get him.
I should probably hop over here and get my own mic.
Oh, yeah, you can do that for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the hell is this guy? Reckless Racer. 2 and a red for a creature, human pilot, uncommon for a 2, which is a 2/3. There. Has first strike. Whenever Reckless Racer becomes tapped, you may discard a card. If you draw a card.
Yep, rummage. It's not bad.
Like, a rummage effect is nice. Like, I like that it says becomes tapped, so obviously this guy crews a vehicle. The only thing is, I feel like this card's got another weird clause on it, where it feels like you want to attack with this card, but because it has the tap trigger, and it is a pilot, it can crew a lot of things, so it's kind of weird. You know what I mean?
We got our looter scooter replacement.
This is no looter scooter replacement.
Yeah,
that card let you draw first.
The loot was actually better. Loot is a better, in my opinion, a better ability than rummage, unless you're playing dredge. All right,
But, this is okay.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
All right. Next one is Release the Gremlins. Double X, 1 red for a rare sorcery. Destroy X target artifacts. Create X 2/2 red gremlin creature tokens.
This is your win condition in EDH now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes.
Well, here's a question, because I actually don't know. Can you just target the same artifact over and over again, or do you have to have multiple targets?
I would go ahead and assume probably multiple targets.
You have to have multiple targets.
Oh, that makes this less fun.
Yeah, because it's not multiple different. If it gave you another line of text for each one, so like if it said, choose X abilities on this card, and it gave you like an indefinite amount on the card. So it said destroy target artifact, destroy target artifact, destroy target artifact, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Then you would be able to target the same artifact multiple times. But since you are unable to, then you cannot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is still fine.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is a maybe, and actually, I could see this main boarding this in limited.
I can too. It seems fine. Because it kills servos.
Yeah, it kills servos, and like you get 2/2s out of it, which are not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty okay, dude.
Yeah, I'm not upset with it.
Next up, we have Scrapper Champion. It's 3 and a red for a 2/2 uncommon human artificer. She has double strike, and when she enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy. When she attacks, you can pay 2 energy to put a 1/1 counter on her.
This card's solid.
This card is great.
Seems pretty good.
Like, this is like what all of the what was it? This is what the Thriving Cycle evolved into, was this thing.
Yep.
And this is like the best. Like, I love this
This
card.
is the strongest Thrive.
And
First
you know what the best
pickable?
card of this is? This card kills Gifted Aetherborn.
Yeah,
If you crack this tonight, do you consider it first pickable?
Well, considering we're not drafting tonight, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
You know what I mean.
If we were drafting and the rare is bad, like, I take this card.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, do you take this or do you take the Vampire Nighthawk?
Ooh.
I would probably take this because
Yeah.
it's a single color compared to
Double. Which means you can splash this.
Mhm.
Like if you're end up in like some
You're-
kind of weird energy shenanigan.
You're not like
build.
tied to the chair in red if you do this. Like you want to be in red for this, I think, but you're definitely not tied to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is pretty solid.
All right,
Jared,
this-
you get the most
I get
interesting
this-
card in the set.
No, the most interesting card was Negate. I got Shock. It's red for an instant from Stronghold. It's a common. Shock deals 2 damage to target creature or player.
Shock is shock.
We have a bird spell.
We have a burn spell that.
Or is this a shock spell?
Meh.
Nah.
Bolt was better.
Well, yeah, that's why we got Shock and
Thank,
Stronghold.
thank you, Captain Obvious. In other news, the sky is in fact blue.
I thought it was red.
Anyway.
All right.
Could be white or
The only
gray.
thing I don't like this art for this. Like, this looks like this was an equipment card that they decided to switch the art out on.
Actually, you know what this should have been? The art should have been, since we had Shock hitting in a Psychotog in Odyssey, it should have been this shocking the Ravenous Intruder. That would have been cool. Oh wait, no, that wasn't an invasion. That was not invasion.
I feel like
Odyssey. That was
this card should have. This card and
Onslaught.
Harnessed Lightning should have had their art switched.
Yeah, probably.
Because I feel like Harnessed Light. This would fit for Harnessed Lightning because it's very clearly like, it's not an arc welder because lightning doesn't go that way, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got like that control-y feel to it. Anyway, I
All right.
like this next card a lot.
Yep, and Jeff's getting it.
I know.
All right, get him, Slugger.
Siege modification.
Siege Rhino. What? No, wrong card.
Siege Rhino.
Well, 1 and double red for an uncommon enchantment. Enchant creature or vehicle. As long as enchanted permanent is a vehicle, it's a creature in addition to its other types. Enchanted creature gets +3/+0 and has first strike.
This is pretty freaking nutty. Like,
Yeah.
the fact that you can go 1 to play the 7-Eleven boat, 2 whatever, and then play this on the boat turn 3 and swing for 10.
First strike 10.
Yeah, first strike 10.
First strike 10.
Not that it would matter at turn 3, but yeah.
But it could have Death Touch.
Like, this is how you end games.
Yeah.
Right here. Like,
No,
and
this is how you begin and end in a game.
like, I want to play
Also
this.
friendships.
I'm probably going to play this, like,
This is worse than Monopoly.
I bought all the hotels on one space. Also, I'm telling you where to go, and you're landing on it.
I have Boardwalk and Park Place, and you are not going to hit luxury tax.
Now, here's the question: If you open a bad rare, is this first pickable?
Yes. Do you want to know why?
Go for it.
Because I'm going to see that 7-Eleven, and I'm going to take that and this, and I'm going to ruin somebody's day.
Here's the better question. If somehow your uncommons are Vampire Nightwalk, Scrapper Champion, and this, what do you take?
Wait, what?
If you crack the God Pack that has Siege Modification, Vampire Nightwalk, and Scrapper Champion as the uncommons, what do you take out of the pack?
Well, I'm never going to see that pack, so I'm not going to worry about it.
Hey, it has like a 1 in 9,001
I
chance
think
of
you
happening.
still take the Scrapper Champion.
I think the Scrapper Champion's probably the winner.
Anyway.
Yep. All right, Bill, you get a cool card.
I get a cool card. Sweatworks Brawler. It's got big fists.
It's Vi.
Brutalist.
It's Vi
Yeah,
from
yeah.
League of Legends.
3 colorless and a red for a creature human artificer, common, with improvise, menace, and it's a 3/3.
It's a really good hill giant.
This
It is
a
really good hill
really
giant.
I can't wait to play this guy.
It's so good.
3/3
I
with
can't
menace
believe
for
this is
4.
Is this common or uncommon?
And improvise.
I can't believe this guy's a common. Like,
I can't believe it's not butter.
It's margarine.
Tasty
well,
plastic.
this guy looks like he's about to teach you the value of real butter by beating you in the face with it.
I still argue that it's Vi from League of Legends.
I
Punch in a face.
think this is what my character looked like when I was trying to become a bard on Final Fantasy.
All right, and
I want this for the art.
okay, go ahead.
All right, we have Wrangle. It's 1 in a red for a sorcery at common. You gain control of a target creature with power 4 or less until end of turn. Untap it and it gains haste. It's a threaten, but the art is what sells it.
Yeah. The funny
It's
part.
a guy throwing a gremlin out of like what looks like a picnic basket.
And the best part is the guy's haircut looks like my coworker.
So
The best part of this card was how I thought Sweatworks Brawler was the last card because this card didn't even load up.
Yeah, I really like this because of the art. Like this sold the entire thing to me.
Yeah, too bad the card's not that great because
No.
threat and effects are never good, especially with no sacrifice outlets in this set.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, no, we have Yaheni,
yeah,
Yeah,
in
but
black.
but you need a rare.
yeah,
Yeah.
in another color.
Yeah. All in all, I think red's pretty good though.
Yeah, red is definitely good.
Red-
It's got a lot of solid power in both the commons and uncommons. Like
Obviously, red is the beatdown color.
red is the beatdown color.
But-
Black red beatdown is still a thing, guys.
Yeah, but I think red is like the beatdown. Like this is it.
Like this is the color you want to turn sideways.
I also haven't seen any green cards, so this is gonna be fun.
All right, well,
Speaking of green, let's go
Yeah.
to green.
Do this.
moving on to green.
The east side.
We are starting things off with Aether Herder. It is 3 and a green for a common elf artificer druid. That's a lot. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy, and when it attacks, you spend 2 energy, make a servo. Blah blah blah. You've heard it. It's
I
a
like the
3/3.
card just for the name.
Aether
Ether Herder. I like that.
Yeah,
It's a hill giant with energy.
but it doesn't have menace.
Yeah, but yippee.
It has better stats than the other ones.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I mean, yeah, this is supposed to be like the big one compared to the
Yeah.
others, but the others get keyword abilities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Like Death Touch.
not the worst,
Yeah.
not the best. This is probably about middle of the road as far as like the.
This is the
Aether
one that can
cycle.
actually have a reasonable chance to turn sideways instead of sitting there as a blocker.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the other, not the white one doesn't tap at all,
No.
and the red one you attack with, and
Yeah.
I think the blue one you also attack with because that one flies.
Yeah, that one's the one you attack with. The white and blue you do. The red one you attack with it for the first couple of turns, and then you don't worry about it ever again.
Yeah.
And black one just sits there.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move to the next one.
It would be a cat.
Yeah. We have Aether Stream Leopard. It's 2 and a green for a cat. It's common. Has trample. When it enters the battlefield, you get an energy. And then when it attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and it's a 2/3. This is a 4/3 attacker on 4. This is not bad.
With
And it has
trample.
Trample.
I like this
What?
card.
Like,
And,
why?
the fact that the pump effect only costs 1 energy is pretty
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm gonna try to force this into the Pummeler deck.
I can see that work.
I could too, even though you only get to pay it once. I want to try it because you play the I can't remember what the stupid thing's called, the Long Tusk Cub.
Yeah.
You play that in there.
yeah.
You can use it multiple times. But I was thinking about maybe playing the Riptarian Tiger, or whatever it's called.
Riparian Tiger.
Yeah, Riparian Tiger. Yeah, the Rip Torn Tiger. You play that. Well, you don't play that, but I really would like to see it because it also has trample. The only issue is it costs 6 mana. You probably kill them on 5.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this isn't bad and limited. Like for a common, this is definitely strong. Like
Yeah.
this card's easily comparable to the red green uncommon from Kaladesh that I can't remember the name of.
Voltaic Brawler.
Brawler. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jaron, if you crack 3 of these tonight for your
I'm going green.
sealed,
Yeah.
you're playing them all.
Yeah, I'm playing them all.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you get 3 of these in green, like Bud.
What if you get 5?
You're off to the races.
If I hit 5, I hit a foil one, so that's pretty good. Considering there's only 4 packs of Aether. Aether.
That's not necessarily true. Didn't someone open 2 of the same card in the pack last draft?
That was a foil, probably.
Was it?
No, he didn't.
No, yeah.
That was a packaging error, though. That doesn't. Really...
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it's possible.
If you do that,
Packaging error.
oh god.
Oh.
So if you actually open up a pack in an actual professional REL event that's like that, you're supposed to let the judge know, and then they correct the error.
They will basically you get to keep the faulty pack, and then they just give you a new one.
Yep. That's basically what happens. Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, it is Devin's turn.
Remember, draft those foil goys, even if not those colors,
That's right.
so everyone can complain about it.
Hey, you know what? I would gladly have drafted a foil Goyf at the top 8 of a Grand Prix anyway.
What's next card?
This one.
That one right there.
Aether Wind, Basker.
Yeah, it's Basking Rootwalla.
Big basking root wall.
This is not basking root wall.
It's a big one.
4 and 3 green. It's a lizard mythic. It's a 7/7 with trample. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, get 1 energy. Pay 1 energy.
No, there's more.
For each creature you control.
Yeah.
When it enters the battlefield or attacks, get 1 energy for each creature you control. Okay. Pay 1 energy. Gets +1/+1 to an turn.
It's a big basking root wall.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is the card that ends things. This is like Basking Rootwalla. You would discard 2 of these at the beginning of the game, and you get 2 1/1s that can pump the next turn once. This thing is the only Rootwalla I've ever seen that does not pump just once. And it's not a Rootwalla, but I want to keep calling it because it's a Basking.
But
It is basking.
Yeah.
yeah, this is your green giant mythic bomb.
This
This is what you play. Like, you get this guy, and then you're just in green.
This thing, it basks so much that it just doesn't bask. It bask kicks.
I'm turning in my 2 weeks.
Yes! I made him quit.
That was like worse than the Hillary Clinton Pokemon Go thing. Like, that's how bad that was.
Pokemon, get out and go to the polls.
Anyway.
I feel like I missed something somewhere with that, but okay.
Like
Next card. We're
the
moving
day-
on.
The day
Okay.
Pokemon Go came out, Hillary was speaking, and she says, I don't know who made Pokemon Go, but they need to make Pokemon Go and get to the polls. And, like, the crowd went crazy because they were all, like, young and middle-aged women. And the
she
men-
made
They
a
didn't
pop
get it.
culture reference.
Yeah.
And then everybody on the internet just like simultaneously cringed because
Yeah.
that was like the worst line I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's why she lost.
Yeah.
That
Anyway.
line right there. She was fine until she said that.
It was kind of like Howard Dean when he was saying, we're going to win this thing, we're going to take it home, and then he screamed. Like, he was like, yeah! And then he lost.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Okay, well.
Next
All right,
card.
let's do
Next card.
Aid from the cowl.
It's
Almost
my card.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is supposed to be yours.
My card.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
You
sorry.
jerk.
Aw.
Aid from the cow, as he said. 3 and double green for a rare enchantment with Revolt. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, you may put it into play. Otherwise, you may put it on the bottom of your library.
I'm okay with this card.
This is a really crappy Lurking Predators.
Actually, I think you might want to play this alongside your Lurking Predators.
Actually, I'm cutting Lurking Predators on this release to make room for Planar Gate, or Planar Bridge.
That seems fair. I'll give you that one. Yeah, that's fine.
But I mean, the problem is, you have to you only get this at the end of your turn specifically, and you have to trigger Revolt for it to even go off.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
In EDH, you just make this thing go nuts.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
In
problem
Limited,
is, there's a lot of turns in EDH where I've played a thing and then passed,
Yeah.
where this doesn't trigger. And the thing is, Lurking Predators triggers every time an opponent plays a spell.
Right.
So I just think that card's just way better than this. I
Yeah.
don't see, like, obviously this. I don't even like. I wouldn't play this in Limited. I wouldn't play it in Constructed. I don't even like it that much for Commander. Like, if you don't have Lurking Predators, this makes an okay replacement.
Yeah.
Meh.
I'll give you that. Yeah. All right, Bill. You get the cool card.
Druid of the Cowl is
You get a cow card anyway.
yeah, I got another cow. Druid of the Cowl, 1 and a green. A creature elf druid, common. Tap, add 1 green to your mana pool. It is a 1/3 mana dork.
This is a great blocker.
It is.
It's a great blocker.
Doesn't die to shock.
It does not die to shock. It does die to Fatal Push, though. And I like this because unlike Servant of the Conduit, this doesn't require energy to make mana. Which I know we're not allowed to have 1 mana dorks anymore because those are bad.
Yeah.
But this is fine. Like 1/3s for 2 or whatever, and like this excels you into late game and limited. This fine, man.
Yeah,
It's
this is a fine
man.
card. Okay, now, I hate to do this.
You can take it.
I want 3 cards.
these next three, I assume?
Yes, because these are all cards.
Okay,
that I
just
really
take
wanna
all
play.
the rares.
Yes, I'm taking them all.
Well, there are probably all Jaren cards if this is anything to go off of.
They really are. All right.
Why? Because they're all bad?
This is really good. This
Okay,
one is really
the
good.
first one's good. The other two are not.
No,
good. Go.
the second one's really good too. The
All
third
right.
one's great. All right, so the first one we have is Greenbelt Rampager. It's a single green for an elephant. It's a rare. When it enters the battlefield, you pay 2 energy. Well, you get 2 energy. Oh, wait,
No, you pay 2
you
energy.
Pay 2 energy. I was distracted. I'm sorry. All right, so when it enters the battlefield, you pay 2 energy. If you can't, return it to your hand and you gain an energy. And it's a 3/4. This is a great card. I really like this thing.
I mean, it's all right.
It triggers your revolt.
It triggers your revolt. Like, it basically allows you to store up to 2 energy at a given time. But
Oh.
the I don't know why I have such a cough today. This basically lets you have 2 energy at any point during your turn for whatever you need to use it on. So like, yeah, this is a card. Like, if you get this card, you just start taking energy stuff. Like,
Yep.
imagine having this card with the Aether Whirl cat or whatever we just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dog. That
even,
gets real.
even the Basking Root Wall.
Or, well, okay.
Anything gets real with that thing.
Let's get two green rares, one of which is a mythic. Okay.
Yeah, we can do it.
All right.
All right, so this card I think has modern applications.
Modern.
Yes.
Is there
No, not the elephant. The next one.
Oh.
Because the elephant's okay. Like, it's good. I like it. But this one has modern application. Green Wheel Liberator. It's 1 and a green for an Elf Warrior rare. Has Revolt. It gets 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it's a 2/1. This is a turn 2 4/3. It's better than Tarmogoyf.
Dodge the bolt.
Who cares?
Dies to Fatal Push.
Yeah, so does Tarmogoyf.
Okay.
Dodge the smother.
Okay, so does Tarmogoyf.
Dodge the searing blood.
Tarmogoyf could die to that.
I mean, the problem is, like, this seems about as playable as what's it called, Talara's Champion or whatever. It's from it's like either Shattermore or Eventide. It was like the 4/3 for 2 that was like you had to play another creature or something.
I forget what that was.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, there was a reason why that didn't get played, and I can't remember what that play was, but you know it works out because that card was good, but then nobody could get it to work.
I think this card's going to see some fringe play because the reason that this card is not as good as Tarmogoyf is because Tarmogoyf can get bigger than this, and it's not exactly like it's not exactly a difficult challenge either.
No, this card is just a little faster. That's the reason why I think it's good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so the last one I've got, Heroic Intervention. It's 1 and a green for an instant at rare. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. This is 1/3 of Civic Charm that I use the most.
I mean, like, first of all, I like the art on this card because it doesn't make any sense.
I do too. Although it looks like that Johnny is getting captured by the netting.
Well, no. The thing is, they fired the net at him, but then he cut it in half with his axe.
Oh.
But the thing is, if you look at it, the net is still coming at, like, the velocity of the net's still coming at him.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it got, like, pushed back. It just looks like he cut it in thin air.
And I also think that he used the wrong side of his pole arm.
Well, both of his... well, it's a double-headed axe.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Because in the lore, it's his axe and his brother's axe.
Oh, that's nice.
Because, you know...
He loves his brother.
His brother's dead.
Yeah,
so.
he loves his brother.
I mean,
and he also has Elspeth's cloak. Man, this guy just loots everybody.
This guy is like everybody's Skyrim character. But, like, yeah, this might see some play in, like, modern, like, maybe standard even.
Yeah.
I don't see this doing anything. Like, don't
Well,
pick this in limited unless you need it.
In limited, it's not going to be great. In standard, you get to play it into Pommeler deck. In modern, you get to play it in Infect if it's still a deck after Cataxian Probe. See, I'm trying it with something cool that I haven't told anybody about except for Bill and like a couple other people.
And I saw it already.
It seems okay.
You saw it. Yeah, it seems like a good change.
Do you really think this is playable in Infect? Because 2 mana for this.
Yes.
Like,
I really do.
but because like the problem is, I would rather just play Vines of Vastwood, or like if I need another protection spell, I run.
But you can only have 4 vines.
You can only have 4 vines, but I'm saying there's also what's it called? Priest's Blessing or whatever it is, the white fire.
Apostle's Blessing.
Apostle's Blessings.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You do have those spells, yes. But this is a sideboard card if you're playing against a deck that's heavy in removal. Like Volcanic Fallout or Anger of the Gods. So you would play this against something like Scapeshift. What you would do is if they
But
go
aren't you
off,
just faster than that?
well, you are, but sometimes the Scapeshift deck just gets you because you had a bad hand. This protects you and your spell skates.
I think you just go. I just think you go full Sonic on this and just got to go faster.
You go full
than them.
Sanic.
You go full Sanic. Like, I really don't think you need this. It's too much mana for nothing, basically. Like,
I do like it, and I think it's playable.
eh,
All right, Dakota, I skipped you a lot,
that's fine.
so you get this one.
All right, the next card that we are getting is Hidden Herbalist. It's 1 in a green for a uncommon human druid. It has Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if permanent left, you add green to your mana pool, and it's a 2/2.
Seems okay.
So, Burning Tree Emissary was a card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is not as good, but a lot of people are saying that this might be playable in Modern Storm.
Yeah, it could be.
Because you could, like, Manamorphose into this.
Yeah.
Like, go fetch land into Manamorphose into this, like, and then into whatever,
Yep.
Burning Tree Emissary or whatever the hell.
Yep.
Well, the Storm players would have to realize this is a card because they're still melting down on Reddit that Gataxian probes out.
It is.
Well, they're melting down on Reddit because they lose a card, like, every week now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, like, and not even just, like, Storm. Like, aggro decks can use this and other stuff.
And Storm players were all like, we haven't top 8'd an event recently. Why are we getting hated?
Well, the thing is,
Because Storm is bad and you should feel bad.
the thing is, like the decks that are top 8ing that play Gataxian Probe used it better than the Storm deck did.
Yeah.
I think this card's fine.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, in Limited, like, you're probably not going to get to live the dream where, like, you play this on 2 and get your Revolt and get to play another 2-drop. But if you can, you're probably going to win that game.
Yeah. See, I think the dream would be you attack with your 1/1, and they block it and kill it, and they trade because it's early or whatever, and they're newer, so they feel that every life point counts, and then you just play 3 of these.
Okay, that's going from that's full Magical Christmas Land.
Yeah, this is
territory.
Magical Christmas Land right here, buddy.
But
if
yeah.
it was actual Magical Christmas Land, hell, we could call it Magical Hanukkah Land. All 4 right here. I'm gonna block your 1/1. That's cool. Play a land, play 4, pass turn.
All right. So it's good. Since Jaren took 3 cards in a row, Jeff, you're getting this one.
Jeff,
Okay.
you can have this one, or you can give it back to me.
You know what? It's a green pump spell. It's more your alley. I'll let you take it.
So
Yes.
is the next one.
This is actually a card I wanted too. We have High Spire Infusion. It's 1 in a green for an instant at common. Target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn, and you get 2 energy.
Wow.
This is a pummeler card, hands down. This is so good. So much fun.
Even in Limited, this
Oh my
card
God, it's
seems
so
really
good.
good because you just, like, you get a pump. Keep in mind it's instant speed. Like, that matters a lot because I think that makes it better than Larger Than Life.
I just saw the next card. That's
And
funny.
yeah, I like this card a
Yeah, I do too.
lot.
This card
Like,
is so good.
I can't wait to play with this.
Yeah.
So my card, I take it.
Yes, this is your card.
Okay. It is Minecraft Awakening.
It's Lifecraft.
Lifecraft.
Minecraft Awakening.
We had a Minecraft card and it sucked.
It was actually made by Minecraft.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This one could be better though and playable.
Could be, actually.
X and a green for an uncommon instant. Put X +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it isn't a creature or vehicle, it becomes a 0/0 construct artifact creature.
This is why Looter Scooter was banned. This card right here. Because it crews itself.
Well, no. If it isn't a vehicle.
If it isn't
Looter
a
is
creature
always,
or
Looter,
vehicle.
even when not manned, is always a vehicle. This would not animate it. You can't animate
If it isn't
Yeah, it's
already.
This card's awful.
Yeah, you
Never
can't-
mind.
Yeah, you
Hey.
can't animate vehicles with this thing.
Hey, you
which
can
is-
play. Hey, you can play this in EDH and feed your infinite mana into your soul ring, give it haste, and punch somebody.
Okay, I'm game. Let's do that. That sounds fun.
It turns into like a Destructo disc from Dragon Ball Z.
But Krillin was the only person that flung that thing, and it never did anything.
No, Goku used it too. He used
Yep.
it versus Frieza.
Well,
Oh, yeah,
he
you
bounced it back at him, yeah.
Why don't we just give Jaren all the green cards because he is like Brian Kibler, like just green white all day.
Because I'm not greedy like that. I already had the cards I wanted.
All right, so
Yeah,
Bill!
good card.
You're up, buddy.
Lifecraft Cavalry. 4 and a green. Creature Elf Warrior, common. Trample, Revolt. Lifecraft Cavalry enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn. It's a 4/4. Potentially a 6/6 with Trample for 5.
This card is disgusting.
this
Not
card's
bad for
good.
common.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is a pretty good common. You don't want to pick up like this is a card you get late because it's one of the big clunky cards that most people are afraid to take. Like this is definitely a top of your curve card if
Yep.
you didn't get like a super big bomb or whatever.
Yep.
This is fine.
I like it a lot.
It is. It's okay. Yeah.
6/6 Trample for 5? Yeah.
Yeah, this is good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Super Haunted Bacon.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Eldritch Bacon.
Anyway, next card we are looking at is Lifecrafter's Gift. It's 3 and a green for an uncommon instant that reads, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, then put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it.
This makes your thriving guys really good.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
is she wearing a Deku shield?
Nah. That way she can burn it off and not carry a shield for the rest of Ocarina of Time. That's what I did.
Until you became adult.
But I mean, like,
And then I just got eaten by a like.
I mean, this is definitely solid for any of the 1/1 counter shenanigans that existed in green, both in
Yeah.
Kaladesh and in this set. I like this card a lot.
Yeah, it's a fair card.
Like-
I like it.
I feel like if you're not in this strategy, this reads give 2 counters or something. For
Yeah.
4 mana, that doesn't seem that great.
No, but
But-
if you're playing like a bunch of thriving guys, this is definitely
Yeah,
fine.
this is fine.
Yeah.
Jaren, you found another risk card.
Maybe.
I don't think so. Because the problem is he wants to make tokens. He doesn't really deal with counters that much.
I do deal with a lot of counters, but it just seems like it'd be too slow for it.
It doesn't do enough for
No.
its cost. Like, for 4 mana, you could play Oracle Moldai or something, like, impactful.
I could also play a card that we talked about that gets Unity counters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's 5. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. You got the next card.
This is mine? I thought you had to read. Oh,
No.
no, you did read that one. Yeah. We have Malfist Revolutionary. It's 1 and 2 green for a human warrior at uncommon. Has trample. When it enters the battlefield or dies, for each kind of counter on target permanent or player, give that permanent or player another counter of that kind. It's a 3/3. This has like proliferate, battle cry, and death throttle.
Yeah, I mean, like, this... Well, I mean, we saw the same effect on the pirate. The blue
Pirate
one.
did it for damage, I thought.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's the same effect.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is definitely solid. Like, 3 mana for a 3/3 with trample is a good rate. Passes the vanilla test straight up.
Yep.
And then you get the ability to put another counter on something, which can matter.
Yeah.
Especially if you get the call for Unity or whatever it is, like, and you get this guy, like, you're rolling pretty hot.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this guy's gonna be good. I like,
Even if you're not in
obviously,
counter effects, this is
Yeah.
just a filler guy, and that's fine. That's all
Yeah.
he needs to be.
You need to get your opponent infect somehow in limited.
Yeah, sure.
Devin, do you want this one, or you want to just chill out again?
Monstrous Onslaught. 3 and 2 green sorcery uncommon. Deal X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast Monstrous Onslaught.
So it's Pelucranos on a spell.
That seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for 5 mana,
Yeah.
like, hopefully, the only problem is I don't think this is that great in limited, per se,
No.
because you have to, first of all, you have to have a big creature, and it has to be, in order to do, like, get the 2-for-1 or 3-for-1, this really does need to be a 6/6 or bigger,
Yeah.
like, which,
Or It could cost 7 mana and be a 7/7.
It's not
mythic.
going to be the bastard. You bastard.
Yeah, I
Oh,
see
did you
what
say
did there.
bastard?
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well played.
Anyway, but I mean, like, I don't know. Constructed, maybe? Did you not read that? Well, do you think Onslaught could see it in Constructed at all? Or
No, not
I
at
didn't
all.
think so.
No.
Probably EDH, and that might be
No.
it.
Not even EDH, because I'd rather just play Azuri's Onslaught or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, the 8-mana fight everything spell.
Yep, makes a 4/4 or whatever, fight everything. Yeah. That card's good. I like that.
I want more green board wipes like that.
Yep.
Jack,
I guess
this
it's
is
me.
you. This is actually a pretty interesting card.
This is pretty sweet. I like this.
So, was it Narnum Renegade? Is that how
Yeah,
you say it?
It's Narnia, yeah.
Narnum. Nom nom.
For a single green, Elf Warrior, uncommon, it's a 1/2, has Death Touch, and Revolt. Narnum Renegade enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn.
Could you say the second coming of Wild Nicatl?
I can, but I don't know if it is.
Well,
Turn 1, play a fetch land.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, I
in the green,
follow
play
you
this
now.
guy?
Yeah, but
would you rather sacrifice a power to gain Death Touch?
Well, the question's not sacrifice the power. The question is Wild Nicatl 5 through 8.
Yeah.
Because you can just play this guy in in Naya Burn or like anything that plays Wild Nicatl.
so here's my thing. I think you play this over Wild Nicatl post sideboard
Probably.
because this fights and trades with everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the Death Touch.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that actually beats this card, but it also beats Wild Nicatl, is Death Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel that this is a sideboard card. You take out 2 Wild Nicatls for 2 of these guys.
I
Then-
don't know. I feel like you
Then that leads into the question, after the Gadaxian Probe ban, will Death Shadow be that much of a deck anymore?
It's not going to be like as prevalent, but it's still going to be really good.
like it'll knock. It's definitely knocked out of tier 1.
yeah.
Probably like a tier 1.5 deck now. But the thing is, I could see running these in the main board alongside, because like a lot of those decks run stuff like Step Links or other goofy
Yeah.
stuff, and it's just like play this instead, because this pretty much can always come down as a 2/3.
I would rather run this over Step Links because Step
I was
Links
gonna
is
say that.
inconsistent.
I was going to say Step Links is far less consistent than this is.
Yeah.
So like you take out the Step Links for this guy possibly, but Step Links does get ridiculously big.
True.
Yeah.
But
For one
only-
turn.
Yeah, for one turn, but that's generally all you need. Because if you
Yeah,
make
that's
that
true.
Step Links like a 6, then you'd probably just need to burn them out the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, and I mean, even in limited, this guy is fine because like you can do this both ways. You can play him as your aggro beater if you're like in red green,
Yeah.
or if you want to be more defensive and slow, like you're in green black or whatever. Then you can just play this guy and have him be like an onboard threat,
Yeah, exactly.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
For an uncommon, this is fine. I like this card.
Yep, I do too. Bill, you're up. I like this card.
This card's good.
Yeah.
Natural obsolescence.
That's a good word.
It is a good word. 1 in a green, instant common. Put target artifact on bottom of its owner's library.
So I think this card is modern playable.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what your actual deck is, because I feel like both in Infect and in Death Shadow, you would rather just run Natural State.
Yeah.
I would like to see you play this in Riss and watch you tuck someone's Shroom.
You can't tuck with generals.
Yeah, they got rid of that.
Oh,
I had to
yeah.
take out all my hinders and all my spell crumples.
seriously?
Yeah.
Lame.
You haven't been able to do that for nearly a year now.
Lame.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
I like not having it because it makes it so that you can actually build a general-centric deck and not have it fall completely apart if they hit you with the spell at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, the next card we are looking at is Pima Aether Seer.
Very pretty.
It's 3 and a green for an uncommon elf druid. When Pima Aether Seer enters the battlefield, you get an amount of energy equal to the greatest power among creatures you control, and you can pay 3 energy to make target creature blocks this turn if able. It's a 3/2.
Dies the shock. Terrible card next.
Well, except the difference is you're not investing a bunch of mana in a goofy effect. for
Yeah,
this.
true.
No, not at all.
Like, even if you just play this as a 4-mana 3/2 that gives you a bunch of energy and don't even use the lore effect, this is fine.
Yeah,
like,
it's fine. It's a great card. I
Like,
like
I
it.
like this card a lot, and the art's really cool on it, although,
Guaranteed at least 3 energy.
yeah, you're guaranteed
Yeah.
at least 3 energy because it's a 3/2. But, yeah, this is definitely solid. Jaren?
Yeah, we got another reprint. This art actually is almost as cool as the werewolf getting gnawed on by the Eldrazi. It's Prey Upon. It's a single green for a sorcery at a common. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. I like how
I like the art.
mechanical bear is trying to eat the non-mechanical goat. Yeah, you see that? That's cool, right? It's almost as good as Bear Punch.
Not as good as Bear Punch.
I said almost.
Not even close.
Oh, crap.
But this is a fine card. Like, Prey Upon has always been good in Limited for green, just
Yeah.
because this is how you remove stuff in green. You just play your big guy and then eat their little guy.
Yep.
This guy's good. Devin, it is your turn.
My turn.
Right turn.
We got a Ridge Scale Tusker. 3/2 green. It's a beast uncommon. It's a 5/5. When it enters battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control.
This guy makes the Life Crafter's Gift card really, really stupid.
Yeah, this is also like the greatest vanilla test card ever, too.
Like, although I do have to ask, what kind of creature is this thing? It looks like
It
a
is
bear and an armadillo. Like,
It's a Bearmadillo.
when a bear and an armadillo love each other very much, this is what results.
It's a Bearmadillo.
There's an animal that looks like that.
Is there? Is it a Tusker?
I forget what it's called though.
Is it an armadillo?
No,
No? Oh.
it's like looks like that. It looks like it has scales, right? That's the right animal.
Does it give leprosy? Then it's an armadillo. Okay, moving on.
Seems like a Jaren card for this card, but I'm taking it anyway.
Oh, this card's cool. Really cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Rishkar, Pima Renegade, assuming I said that right.
Yeah, you did.
That's right.
2 and a green for a 2/2. He's a legendary creature, elf druid, is a rare, obviously. When Rishkar Pima Renegade enters the field, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. Why don't just whatever.
Well, it's 1 to 2 different creatures, which he can be one of them.
Yeah.
I would just say up to 2 target creatures, but okay. Each creature you control with a counter on it, with a counter, not a +1/+1 counter, just straight a counter, has become a mana dork.
And it's a 2/2. I don't know if you said that.
He is a 2/2, yeah.
He is a 2/2. Pangolin?
I like how it says
cool.
a counter. It doesn't specify what counter. It just says a counter.
It could be a -1/-1 counter.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, I think, a javelin counter, like on.
Acacia
Javelineers.
Javelineers.
What goes on serrated there? Is serrated counter?
It's an arrow counter, so we would have to play March of the Machines, animate it.
Yeah.
But going back into the land of reality, this guy seems
Snap
fun.
back to
Like,
reality.
Mom's Doretti. Anyway, like
Mom spaghetti.
you play this guy, and then like he gets a counter, and then one of your other guys gets a counter, and then
Yep.
they both make mana. Like
Yeah.
this guy takes you. The important thing to note is that this guy takes you straight from 3 to 6.
Yeah.
That's an explosive
Yeah.
start.
That's really good. That's almost like explosive vegetation if he doesn't leave.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is definitely solid.
Yeah, it is. Bill?
You got this one.
I got this one. Rishkar's Expertise. 4 and 2 green, sorcery, rare. Draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. You may cast a card with a converted mana cost 5 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Pretty standard for an Expertise, although the drawing of a lot of cards seems good. And
This card seems dumb.
seems
Yeah, I mean,
blue.
Played in Riss, are you?
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Why is it green?
Well,
because green spells draw
green
cards.
has effects like this,
Okay.
where it's like draw cards equal to power or whatever. We've seen it a couple of times. Like the last time we saw it, it was in Cons of Tarkir.
I saw it too.
I want the next card.
Okay. You just went all like Japanese schoolgirl there for a minute. So it would break my heart to take it from you. But talking about Rich Card's expertise, they've had effects like this where it's like pay a lot of green mana, draw cards equal to a creature's power, or the number of creatures you have, or something involving creatures.
Yeah.
There was an effect like it, I believe in Fate Reforged is where that was printed.
Yeah.
And it also like gained you life and some other dumb stuff.
And Greater Good also exists in the collar.
And like Greater Good, and there's some other stuff. But yeah, this is okay. I mean, like, and getting having a 5 mana free spell means that you have a lot. Like, imagine playing this into Baneslayer.
Yeah. This card's going to be kind of silly.
Like, in casual formats, I don't think it's going to touch Constructed. It's a lot of mana for not a lot of stuff.
I don't know, man. Basking Root Wall. That's all I'm saying.
You can't Basking Root Wall into this.
Well, you can play the Basking Root Wall, and then you can play this after you spend all of your energy and draw your deck.
Draw 7 cards.
Draw at least 7.
At least 7.
Hey, we found a Grizzlebrand workaround.
Yeah, we did it.
All right.
All right.
Jaren,
Here we go.
You wanted this one.
Yeah. We got Scrounging Bandar. It's 1 and a green for a cat monkey at common. Scrounging Bandar enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove any number of +1/+1 counters onto another target permanent from this creature. And it's a 0/0.
This is a tiny forgotten ancient.
Yeah. This is a tiny baby cakes. I like it.
Although it's kind of weird because in the art it's very clearly holding like 2 tools of some kind, like a hammer and something else.
Yep.
And the idea is that if you give away both of its tools, then it dies. Like, it couldn't exist on its own. Like, it has to have a hammer.
Well, obviously it can't because reasons.
Like,
the fact that it has 0 toughness.
But yeah, as far as bears go, this is fine.
Maybe it's like a far-fetched.
Like, you play this guy and then you play your 3-drop. And like, you can sacrifice this guy to make that guy stronger. This seems okay depending on what you get.
You could also play this on the 1/2 guy that we had earlier that has Death Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good.
Yep. You're up.
Next up, we have
Asia.
Silkweaver Elite.
Antarctica.
It's 2 and a green for
Australia.
a common elf
Australia.
Shut up. Damn.
We appreciate you.
No, you don't.
No, you play in your 2 weeks. Now we get to disrespect you.
Silkweaver Elite's 2 and a green for a common elf archer. It has reach and revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you draw a card. It's a 2/2.
This is really good value 2/2.
Like, yeah, for, like a Grey Ogre with reach and draw a card if something left.
Yeah.
This is pretty okay.
It seems very good. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. Well,
Is this a reprint?
No, it's not.
it's not a reprint.
It is not.
I feel like I've seen it though before.
Yeah, you have, but it's not a reprint.
Is it Unbridled?
Yeah.
Unbridled.
Unbridled Growth. 1 green. Enchantment, aura, common. Enchant land. Enchanted land has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Sacrifice Unbridled Growth, draw a card.
This card is good. This is really good.
Yeah, I like this card. It reminds me a lot of what was the one from Return to Ravnica that instead of sacrificing it to draw a card, when it entered, you drew a card and did the same thing.
That's the one I was thinking of, but I can't
forget
remember what it is.
What that's called.
But you know what I'm talking
Yeah, I do. The first thing I thought of was Utopia Sprawl, but then I realized that it didn't add the mana when the land became tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually slightly worse than that, but this is still a really good card for mana fixing in limited.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. This isn't something like you're not going to need to take this early.
No.
Like, this is a card you play, so like you can put, like, you get this.
This
in
is
pack,
a thinning.
Yeah, you get this in pack 3 because you have something you want to splash.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Other than that,
you can
it's
take
pick
it near the end.
Other than that, it's pick 13 to 15.
Anyway,
Probably.
so, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the last green card in Aether Revolt.
Yeah.
Join us next week where we're going to take on the multicolored cards, the artifacts, and the land.
Go be a long one, buddy.
So,
That's a joke.
And probably the bannings.
until
Nah.
Nah.
Bannings will be after that.
Okay.
So, until next time, We